This is my first time in Africa, in the city. You know, the city is just it's wild. You know, there's people coming and going, and motorcycles, and you know, buses and cars, and they're just, you know, going around corners, and people are just like walking on the street. I mean, like, just like right in front of cars. I'm like, woo, you know. So, yeah, it was fun and exciting and fabulous, and, you know, a little bit, you know, concerning, dangerous, because they're like, oh yeah, don't keep your phone out. You know, if you put your phone out, someone will snatch it right out of your hands. You know, so very hustle and bustle. You know, and kind of you know, rough. You know, it's people are having to just do things to survive. It's my first time in Kenya, and I went to go buy some electronics to buy a phone, and I hit the streets. And you know, it was very interesting. We had to wait a long time in the store to be able to get the phone. We had to, you know, they had to go somewhere up, you know, to like in the back, you know, and we were like maybe to get it from somebody. It was fascinating because a lot of the stores, they may not necessarily have the electronics, but they can call someone, you know, and then someone else from one of the other stores come running, you know, and brings the item to that store to sell it. So it's just this whole interconnected, you know, a lot of the business owners, they work with each other.
Gosh, ladies, you are so wonderful. I am so grateful to be here.
So my name's Raiza Rangle. I have a corporation called Stars in Action. We support film and music professionals achieve their dreams. And you know, my trip here to Kenya has been just mind-blowing. It's the people are amazing and incredible, and the children at all of these schools that we have visited are just so sweet and so kind. And you know, a lot of the older ones, they're in all of them are in such need. You know, not all of them, but you know, there's a significant amount of students that can't afford to go to school. Their parents can't afford to buy food, pay for the food that the schools provide to the children. So a lot of the schools are really struggling. They are, having to send children home, and it breaks their heart and it breaks our hearts to see it, and so I'm sure I'm speaking for all of us on this trip that, when I say we want to be able to help, help do more and help make a difference in all of these incredible children's lives so that they have enough food, they have enough nutritious food, and can continue to go to school. The older girls that we visited yesterday were, just pleading with us. I got little notes handed to me from them that, I'd opened it up and it said, please, all I need is just sponsorship so I can continue to go to school. Oh my gosh. And in America, you have students that are like, no, don't make me go to school, like these children just, all they want is to desperately be able to learn. Like, that is just, oh my gosh, so incredible and so touching and moving and sad, and it's just, I want to be able to help them all. And it's been just an unbelievable journey, to see the way that people, do business here. We haven't gotten too much into the houses, so we haven't been able to really see, how people live, but we've seen a lot of how they do business and, here in the country, out at the outskirts a little bit of Kenya, and then in the city, the city is just it's wild, there's people coming and going and motorcycles and buses and cars, and they're just, going around corners, and people are just like walking on the street. I mean, just right in front of cars. I'm like, whoa, so, yeah, it was fun and exciting and fabulous, and a little bit concerning, dangerous, because they're like, oh yeah, don't keep your phone out. If you put your phone out, someone will snatch it right out of your hands. So it's very hustle and bustle, and kind of rough. It's people are having to just do things to survive, and when you're living in survival mode, you're not able to really be able to take a step back and look at your situation and the world and, be able to think long term, and the longevity kind of aspect of everything. So, this is my first time in Africa. Yes. I came here, it's my first time in Kenya, and I went to go buy some electronics to buy a phone, and I hit the streets, and, it was very interesting. We had to wait a long time in the store to be able to get the phone. So we had to, they had to go somewhere up, to in the back, and we're like, maybe get it from somebody. It was fascinating because a lot of the stores, they may not necessarily have the electronics, but they can call someone, and then someone else from one of the other stores come running, and brings the item to that store to sell it. So it's just this whole interconnected, a lot of the business owners, they work with each other, and it's like, okay, well, I'll buy it from you for this, and then I'll sell it to him for this, and then, so it's very much like kind of a hustle and figuring out how to trade with each other to be able to get, and, it's fascinating because if that's the case, then they're selling it for, the margins, what they're able to sell one phone for is so small compared to business owners in the United States for the most part. They're usually the margins are much, much greater. So it's been very interesting, it's the challenges, hustle and bustle, and a lot of them are, oh, well, it's this price. Oh, no, wait, and so there's a lot of negotiations, and so yeah, that was very interesting. Like, oh, well, if I do it this way, or you pay cash, and there's, tax on top of it, but if you pay cash, don't have to pay tax, but if you pay cards, well, then we're gonna have to, it's this much more, and it's like, so it was really fascinating. With my company Stars in Action, it's all about supporting professionals in film and music. One of the things that I asked when I moved to LA was, where does someone go? LA is like the hub, right? The center point of the entertainment industry since forever. And so I went there and I'm like, where does someone go when they have skills, knowledge, expertise? Where do you go to get supported in achieving what you want to do in the industry, other than going to college, right? And learning. But if you already are out of college, where do you go? No one had an answer for me. You don't. You just gotta hustle. And I'm like, that isn't, so what I wanted to do was create a place. Like, we need to make a place. There is no place. Let's make it. Let's create a place where we can support the dreams of artists and of professionals, directors, producers, light techs, cinematographers, musicians, artists, audio engineers. So I'm developing a process to be able to do that. And one of the things that I would really love to do, that this trip has inspired me to create with the company, is opportunities to be able to offer visas to professionals that want to come to the United States to be able to get into the industry, and create opportunities, create an online platform where we can be able to connect individuals from all around the world, to provide them with more support to achieve their dreams. So the Big Five, I honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing the safari, see the wildlife. I'm a huge animal lover. I love animals. But I don't necessarily, if I see the Big Five, that would be exciting, but all of the animals I'm excited to see, no matter what, whether it's in the 5 category or in the, any category. And I honestly am looking forward to seeing the Maasai people, and to see their traditions and their outfits, and to watch them dance, and to hear them sing, and to see the culture, the community out there. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh my gosh, ladies, you are so wonderful. I am so grateful to be here. Una bendua. So I'm going to tell you just a brief story about me. When I was young in school, I dreamed of being in Hollywood and being in film and music. And then life took a different path for me, and I went on a completely different journey. And instead of going all the way to California in the US, I went to the completely opposite side of the United States to Florida. And so how many of you have a plan A, a dream, like what you want to do, right? That's your plan A. So growing up, my friends and family started to ask me, okay, well, if you go out there and you don't succeed, what will you do? Oh, well, I need a plan B. Okay. So I'm going to become a makeup artist. So I started doing makeup. And then I started, I created a plan C, right? And I started getting into real estate. Anybody have a plan B? Or a plan C? What about plan B? So, I'm out in Florida, and I'm doing plan B, and C, and D, and I'm focusing all of my time and attention on different skills that weren't what were gonna drive my plan A. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm 32, 33 years old, and I'm looking at my life going, wow, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not in Hollywood. I'm not doing creative things. So I decided, you know what? Time to focus on plan A. I'm going to just focus 100% on my goal to create the skills and the knowledge. And so I packed up my home and I packed up my pets. I have 3 kitties. So I packed up my kitty cats in a little tiny moving van, and I moved across the country to Hollywood. That was last year. And I have started a business called Stars in Action that supports film and music professionals. Because when I was out there, I thought, where do you go? When you have skills, you have knowledge, you have experience, where do you go to get supported? And no one had an answer for me. So I decided, you know what? Well, I need to create that. Let's create that. So listen, you don't need anybody's permission to follow your dream, to make something happen. If there's something that you see that you want to do, or something that you want to, that isn't in the world, that you want in the world to make a difference, then do that. Make a difference and follow your dreams. So I'm going to sing just a little quick thing for you to close this out. If I